automatic no there. If you are on traffic near Jena, send a open union. Taxi no automatic no the taxi now. It is a petrol near Jena. Petrol going down to a difference.
The manual is the best. The manual is the best. Because the manual doesn't take much for us. Automatic.
Me manual. But me automatic. Most automatic. And you can't be a fast. The movement, everything, as compared to manual. You say automatic in a very good, a fast car. And moreover, the consumption. And the manual difference different and the different and when they say automatic and no one change on and no automatic and one change it you know senior a baby yeah who and sana a year I don't know to make it create but different being manual to 25 at the corner. This is automatic.
Welcome back from that box spot. Oh my God, and for philosophies, Papa. Some didn't even know what they were saying, but they were actually explaining themselves with them on my count. But hey, we need professional people to tell us about using it as a commercial vehicle. So stay tuned, we go talk to the expert, driver for Nakon, but let's go listen to the professional advice.
Yes, you can use automatic transmission cars as commercial because indeed they are already in the system. We have what we call Alcine transmission, which are commercial vehicle. You find them in trucks and buses. Sometimes we have what we call voice transmission made from Sweden. So indeed, you can use automatic cars for commercial purposes. Now, what you should know that transmission oil doesn't last forever. Now, in every 2-3 years, the transmission oil will lose its viscosity. Now, with commercial, it is advisable that the transmission oil is replaced yearly together with the filter. Now, the only maintenance you can carry on an automatic transmission without any problem is to replace the oil and then replace the sump gasket, the shaft seals and the back, depending whether it's a front-wheel drive or a rear-wheel drive. Now, in transmission, you don't have to wait for the transmission to have a problem before you have it checked. Now, there are engine aspects that affect automatic transmission performance. Apart from changing the oil and then the oil filter, there are so many engine parts that can also affect transmission performance. So all these things need to be taken into consideration. Not wait till they actually bring a car to a stop, because once it's for commercial, once the car stops, your source of income stops. So there's a need to have a maintenance culture, so that you are able to maintain the transmission very well. So things that affect transmission from the engine are what we call inputs of the transmission of the engine. Actually, without engine, there's no transmission. So those things that are input of the transmission, air flow meter, air leak, TPS, whether it's what you call a by-wire or a cable, all these are very important parts that go with transmission performance. And also, I've seen certain cars that have very bad radiators. And if you happen to have one of those cars, you don't have to wait for the radiator to collapse before, because when transmission cooler is integrated with the radiator, the likelihood is that if the radiator blows up, water will go into the transmission, and that's going to be a very huge problem. So if you have any car that has this type of that the radiator has a tendency of collapse at any time, I think you should have a periodical replacement of the radiator. You have to save you money. But those that have the cooler disintegrated from the radiator, then you are safe. So you can use it for commercial, but then the maintenance should be yearly. Once the color of the oil starts changing to black, it's calling for recondition, and you don't have to wait. So it's very good, it's very safe. Actually, it's safer than manual car to use automatic for commercial. Very, very safe. But then the maintenance is high as compared to manual. Your brake pad will wear very often, your discs will wear, but the safety is very important. But the engine also lasts very, very long, because you have no control over the engine. The driver has no control over the engine. The fuel consumption of automatic transmission as compared to manual transmission. If you are driving, for instance, a taxi, you have a fuel consumption. What I've noticed is that some drivers don't know when they are driving in LOS, a limp mode, that is limited operative strategy. They don't know. The transmission is not changing. It's driving in one gear, and that can give you a serious fuel consumption. But as to where the automatic transmission is consuming fuel, I don't believe that. But if you are in traffic and you have automatic and I have manual, the same engine capacity, the same stoichiometric. You know, when you talk about fuel consumption, you are talking about the automation of fuel emission that is induced into the cylinders. We were taught that it's supposed to be a volumetric efficiency, but now we know that it's rather a mass base, because the fuel emission must really fill the cylinders, not the volume. It must really fill. So it's rather a mass base and not a volume base. So I don't see why that makes a difference between a manual and automatic. People maybe drive. A lot of people are driving in what we call in the layman language, limp mode, emergency, but they don't know. Not all cars will drive in one gear when they have problems. Some will change, but you won't attain the maximum gear, depending on the number of speed of the transmission. If the transmission is 4 speed and you are in limp mode, some will change up to 10 gear, but you don't get 4th gear. You are burning fuel, because you can't get to 1-to-1. The ratio should be 1-to-1. One engine, one transmission. That means the transmission should move the car proportionally to the engine speed. So if you are in 3rd gear cannot give you 1-to-1. You understand? But when 4th gear is attained, you can then get 1-to-1. That's one engine, one transmission. The car is moving according to the speed of the engine. Whereas in 5 speed, the more the speed, the less the ratio. So in 5 speed, when engine gives you 1, transmission will give you 0.85. That means the transmission, even though it's getting its input from the transmission, tends to run faster than the engine itself. So I would rather love to use a car with a more speed as commercial than those with a 3 speed and 4 speed. Comparing Toyota Corolla, Nissan Sentra, and Hyundai, either Elantra or Lantra. And the Toyota Corolla used for taxis presently started, is manufactured year 1984 to 2001. And it's a 3-speed transmission. It's called A131. Now, in Toyota transmission code, the 3rd digit denotes the number of speed. If you say A131, the 3rd, which is 3, is the number of speed. Now, in every 3-speed automatic transmission, you can hardly get the ratio to be 1:1 because the speed is less. So there's likelihood of fuel consumption. Now, the transmission is manufactured by Asian Warner, one of the best transmission manufacturers in the world. Now, if you use Toyota Corolla A131 for commercial, you're going to have fuel. There's no two ways about it. It's not your. That's how it is manufactured. Then from 2002 to 2008, gave birth to the 4-speed, which is A245E, which is 4-speed, which is which has a higher speed. So therefore, the fuel consumption is less. The higher the speed, the less fuel consumption. Now, if you take a Nissan Sentra, depending on the year, from somewhere 90, it's also 4-speed. But you can find in Nissan Sentra 2005 a Eisenhower transmission, which is 5550 SN in the Nissan. And you can find the same transmission in Volvo as well. And if you take Elantra, especially Elantra has a 4-speed transmission around 96 to 2001, and it's manufactured by Hyundai. But the Elantra is manufactured again by Mitsubishi. It's called KM series, K176. So the fact that you are driving Hyundai doesn't mean that everything about the car is Hyundai. Now, to compare these three transmissions, you have to look at the manufacturer. Now, I want to enlighten you about what the manufacturers are able to achieve over the years. We have Asian one now, which has produced about 120 different types of transmission up to date. Nissan transmissions are manufactured by Jatco, which has up to date produced about 26. So you can see, obviously, as the one transmission, especially with regards to what we are talking about now with the 4-speed, is quite more powerful than that of the Jatco 4-speed transmission in the Nissan Sentra, except where it is 2.5 and it has 5550 SN, which is 5-speed transmission. Then it will equal Toyota, because that transmission is manufactured by S1. It's a very powerful transmission. Now, if you look at Hyundai Elantra, manufactured by Hyundai, it's a very good transmission, but it's not as durable as Asian one. That means you will have to have it maintained periodically in order not to give you problems. Anything that is not too good enough, you maintain it so it doesn't give you a problem. It's economical, but in terms of torque capacity, you can't compare it to the Asian one transmission. Just like Jatco transmission found in Nissan. Yeah, but when you are comparing, you also have to put into consideration the engine size. I'm talking about 4-cylinder between 1.8 to 2 liter averagely. So Nissan is also is not as powerful from Jatco as that of the IG1. Not all Nissan, but in terms of the 4-speed, like in the Sentra, you can see that. For example, in this show, we receive more Nissan transmission failures than Toyota Corolla, the one they call Corolla S, the 2002 and 2008. You don't normally see them having a problem. The only Toyota that used to have problem is the one we call the U series. The U series are known to have serious valve body issues, but the A series, no. You understand? So basically, it's that's how it is. Comparing a 4-cylinder auto transmission car, Toyota, Hyundai, and this is what you should be looking at: the manufacturer, the transmission torque capacity.